Hey guys, so I recently completed my first day as an Instacart shopper, and I'm going to tell you all about it. But before I get into it, I want to tell you that I'm going to make you a deal. If you guys use the link down in the description, I'm also going to try to put it on the screen here, either that link or the code that I put up there in order to sign up under me for Instacart, then I will split the bonus. When somebody signs up under my code, I get a bonus anywhere from $25 to $2,000, depending on what city you're located in. And I don't know what that is until you sign up, and then it shows it on my referral screen. But I will give you half of that bonus as long as you go through and you complete all of your batches that you need to do in order to get your bonus. So as soon as that's paid out to me, just send me a message at my channel email, markgoudyofficial@gmail.com, and let me know your first name, last initial, and your city. And as long as it's cleared and gone through on my end, then I will either PayPal or Venmo you the other half of it. So let's help each other out. A little backstory here on signing up for Instacart and Shipt as well. I actually started signing up with them first, but I've never completed a batch. I actually did that because I was waiting to get my car fixed. And I figured before I got the car fixed, especially before I got the wheel bearing fixed, I definitely couldn't have passengers as an Uber or Lyft driver. So I thought, I was working at Target at the time, let's sign up for Shipt. Shipt is owned by Target, if you don't know that. Well, Shipt took so long to get back to me, I thought I was denied, and I ended up signing up for Instacart. So once I signed up for Instacart, and I made my video here, which I'll link up above, about the sign-on process, Shipt versus Instacart, a lot of people actually went in, and I was very surprised, and I really appreciate it, guys. You guys went and got my code and signed up under me for Instacart. Well, I was surprised by that, and I didn't even have my car fixed yet. So I saw that one person was almost completed with all their batches, and I thought, man, I gotta get out there, and I gotta set some hours, and I gotta go do this. Because Instacart had sent me a message saying that in order to receive the referral bonus, once this person had completed their batches, that you had to have 40 hours of service with them. Well, I'm like, oh, well, I don't have any, so I got to get out there and do that. So I set a week or two ahead of time, on the day that my car was supposed to be fixed, I set 2 hours out in order to go try this out. But I was so busy with my 3 jobs that I didn't have any time to read anything over, any time to prepare, literally just kind of went into this blind. And I know that was really stupid, but it worked out in the end. So, very first day, I was actually a few minutes late. I did sign on, but I was a few minutes late getting to my zone because I was driving from downtown out to the zone near my house, which is where I do my shopping. And I got this first request, even though I was by my house, it was at a Kroger, kind of like the next town or like next urban area over. So I went there, and I mean, it was pretty self-explanatory what you had to touch in the app, and when you wanted to say you were there and things. But when I got into the store, it got really confusing really fast. And I'll be honest with you guys, like, I was frustrated. I was like, what did I get myself into? This is really difficult. They wanted certain types of meat sliced at the deli, and they wanted certain things, produce things, and certain weights of it. And I'm a single guy. I get like mostly frozen dinners. I don't have a lot of experience picking that stuff up. But once I got past the deli and the bakery and the produce section, everything actually got a lot easier. And when I was about halfway through the store, I realized that it actually was organized by aisle number. I didn't know that at first, and it made it a lot easier once I figured that out. So I had to substitute quite a few items, which was confusing, and that did in the end finally work out. But there were a lot of times where I would grab what I thought was the right item, and I'd scan it, and it would say that's the wrong thing, and I'm like, what? And I wouldn't have noticed it was the wrong item had it not told me that when I scanned it, because maybe it was the same item with a different quantity or something. So I think that's something that I'm going to get better with over time. But this person had a pretty large order. Like, I had a very full shopping cart, and there were a lot of bags. So this was also during a snowstorm. I do have all-wheel drive, so I was able to do it no problem. And it turns out that the customer was actually this little old lady who lived the next apartment complex over from the store. It was just she was like super old, so she wasn't going out to get her own groceries. So I brought it in. Now I did bring it inside the house. I know that's probably not always the case, but I did bring it inside the house for her. She gave me an $8, I think it was $8, $7 or $8 cash tip, and then she also tipped me like $8 and something in the app. And that's huge, because any of you out there who are Uber and Lyft drivers, you know, we get really crappy tips, if we get a tip at all. And I was not expecting that on my first delivery. But after that one, I was like, man, I hope I don't get another one like this. And in retrospect, I just really think that that was a tough order to have as my first order. I think now that I figured out the app, it's going to be a lot easier. But as soon as I said that that was dropped off, oh, and I was late. I was late by like 2 or 3 minutes to like the end of the maximum drop-off period. They didn't seem to care, but yeah, I ended up being a little bit late. And as soon as I indicated in the app that that was dropped off, I got another request, and this one was at the Kroger by my house. So I'm more familiar with this store, and I noticed it wasn't very many items. And I thought, well, I took so long with that first order and I only had a 2-hour period, that this is probably, they're just giving me a smaller order because I don't have that much time left. So I go and I get to the store and I see the list of the stuff they want. They wanted 17 bottles of Powerade. And I mean, I was like, are these people that drunk? Like, they really need hydration. But anyway, I don't know what the deal was, but it was so easy for a shop because, I mean, they were literally all in the same aisle. I just had to make sure that I got the right quantities of the right flavors. And that was it. It was super short. I drove it over to their house, which was like kind of in a sketchy neighborhood. And I had a little bit of a snafu of like getting it to them, because they'd left in their notes to call them when I was there. But there was I couldn't find anywhere in the app or on their profile that had their profile or had their phone number or like a way to tap a button to call them. So luckily, like, I was sitting in the driveway trying to figure that out, and I noticed that they had come out of the house and they were waiting for me. So I didn't get a tip on that one, but that's totally fine. The one I got on my first one really made up for it. And then even though I had 10 or 15 minutes left on my shift, when I dropped that one off, it said, congratulations, you've completed your shift for the day. And I think it was just they realized I didn't have time to take another order. So I left the day with, like a $7 or $8 cash tip plus another $8 and something in tips on the app. I think all in all, I made somewhere around like $31.75, which, I mean, roughly averaged out to $15 an hour. And one of the really good things that I found about Instacart is that you're making roughly what you do with Uber and Lyft, but you do so many fewer miles. In all of that, I drove about 14 miles. And I would say, for 2 hours of work with Uber and Lyft, it would have been at least 30 to 50 miles in that time period. So that is a huge plus, costing me less money, less depreciation on the car. So I do really like that. Now, I have since then not done any more shops because the very next day after I did those shops, thinking that I had to get the 40 hours in like Instacart told me, I then got paid out the first bonus that came in. So since then, now I have not done any more shops. I am going to do some in the future. I've got a little bit more free time on the weekends now, and probably next weekend I'm going to get back to it and do it a little bit more. But with that being said, it really wasn't that bad. The first shop, I, especially the first part of it, it was bad. I was stressed. I did not want to be there, but I got it down, and I think in the future it's going to be okay. So I think I just got a really hard shop first, and then like a super easy shop second. So I'm going to go out there and explore it a little bit more. I can't say for sure it's going to be totally worth it, but the flexibility of the schedule versus having like a standard part-time job where you have to be there set hours, I think that this is more along the lines of the flexibility that I need. So far my experience has been pretty positive. So anyway, again, if you're watching this video like I did before I started shopping and started seeing a lot of first day experiences, make sure you look down in the description. I've got a link and my promo code there. Go ahead and sign up, and I will split it with you. I'll write the terms of that in the description. It's also at the beginning of this video, but especially if you're like, say, in New York City, you get a $2,000 bonus. Just go do your batches, and I'll Venmo you $1,000. Help me help you. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. If you have any questions about Instacart, again, I've only done 2 shops, but I will try to help you. Just leave the questions down in the comments. Also, if you are looking for that email address to email me to get your half of the referral bonus, it is on my profile. If you go to my channel and then to the About tab, it is on there. And I'll also try to put that down in the description. So anyway, thanks guys. Thank you for watching, and good luck shopping out there.